Hello everybody, this is Andy, and welcome to episode 28, I believe, of Omnifactory. It's been about a month since I've recorded on this world at all, and I've done a couple of things since the last episode just to kind of move things over and get everything running smoothly. So I moved over pretty much the rest of our base. All of our little simple automations are right here, like the atomic reconstructor. I set up a thing to make draconic cores automatically. This thing's already full. We're making processors now, and we can autocraft pretty much anything that we could in the last base in this one, except for the microminers, because those are still not set up anywhere here yet. I did make the angel ring earlier because I kind of wanted a perfect hover, and this allows me to go a reasonable speed in the air and hover at a perfect level. I think we're pretty much done with all of our processors except for the wetwares. There are 1,024 stacks of each. I might up that later, but I think for now this should be just enough. I moved over our assembly lines over here, and now they're running at UV, which I don't think they were before. I think they were running at ZPM or maybe double ZPM or something like that, which was not enough for my tastes. There is a neutronium solar panel out there. I think I had that last time, and we have managed to charge this thing up to 36 trillion RF, which is still 0%. So, not great. One of the first creatives we're going to shoot for is going to be the creative energy source from... I'm not sure. Creative energy source has to be in here somewhere. I think it's this. Maybe? Yeah, I'm gonna be honest, I can't find which one it is, and I'm not gonna spend any more time looking for it. But I do know it produces somewhere around 2 billion RF per tick, which is really good, and we can pretty much run all our machines at UV if that's the case. Since we're effectively ready to spend all of our time here now, let's set up some automations that we're going to need for the future. The first thing is going to be this compressed infused lava crystal. This is one of the slowest parts of making wyvern cores, and we need a lot of wyvern cores to make awakened cores, to make neutronium solar panels, or well, to make awakened cores, to make chaotic cores, to make neutronium solar panels. So I think I'm just going to need I should just need a compacting drawer and a chemical reactor. Since I've actually gone ahead and effectively filled up all of these automation spaces that I had initially, I have these set up for on-demand crafting. I moved all that over, and a couple of storage bus stuff that I'm doing. So I'm creating sulfur dust right here. I'm creating ender eyes automatically right here by supplying it with these things. I'm creating... This is just my radon thing. I'm creating RAM right here automatically, and so on and so forth. I decided to tear down this whole thing right here, and we're going to have a bunch more of them. You also may have noticed, if you have a very keen eye in between episodes, I did actually come over and change the drawers I had here out for advanced quantum chests. So each of these will store 8 million items. So eventually I will have 8 million iron ingots, and it will stop. But 8 million is a lot of everything. So these things are going to run for a little while. They've already ran for quite a while because I have multiple millions of them. And once it's done, we should have enough to finish the pack out. And we really shouldn't run out. Also, last time, I was creating glass with sand. I had a cobble works going. I changed that over to just use molten glass and then solidify it in a ZPM fluid solidifier, which goes into here and is electrolyzed into nether quartz. However, I don't think this nether quartz is going to be able to keep up with how much we need for this. We're going to produce maybe one a tick, one every 5 ticks or so. So I'm just going to create nether quartz also over here using a ZPM fluid solidifier and electrolyzer. And here we go. Since I'm only using one fluid solidifier, it looks like this thing isn't going to run at full uptime, not even close. But we are starting to get these compressed infused lava crystal blocks, which we're going to need a ton of. I put full upgrades in here at the highest level, so this drawer will effectively never fill up. And if it does fill up, I have a feeling we're going to be done with the pack. Next, let's go ahead and begin fully automating some of these microminers. So, right in this corner right here, which is on the far edge of my base away from stuff, we're going to begin automating tier 1s. And probably over here, tier 2s. Maybe tier 3s. I don't know if we need to do tier 3s, but tier 3, tier 4, tier 5, tier 6, whatever. I want to fully automate some of these in order to get resources, like lapis, no fluid form. Emerald, no fluid form, but we can get it from the loot fabricator, but I still am going to get dense ore from something. Anyways. And perhaps most importantly, diamonds. No fluid form. We have to make them from either the Loot Fabricator or we can get them from Microminers. And I think we're going to be better off going for Microminers because we can send them off automatically. I think it's these tier 4s that get me dense ore. Yeah, and these are kind of expensive, but definitely very auto-craftable. So we have effectively 5 things to automate for this. I think I'm just going to go ahead and start automating them, and that weird noise still happens sometimes. I'm not sure why. I think it's probably that, or maybe just a remnants from these fusion crafting injectors. Not entirely sure, because that is the fusion crafting injector sound. But yeah, it just comes and goes from here and then, or from time to time, not here and then. I'm gonna start automating these, and I'll be back in just a moment. All right. That was a little bit more infrastructure than I was expecting to have to do just for these conductive iron thrusters, but we also have a lot more things fully automated on our storage buses in here that we'll never have to deal with again. This basic mining laser is really easy though. It's literally just a craft. The LV field generators are essentially also a craft. So I've gone ahead and pretty much automated everything except for the diesel generator, because that's the hard one. And since this one is so complicated and we're going to have to actually craft like these electric motors and stuff, I decided I'm going to set up another batch, or not a batch crafting area, an area that will constantly produce things like wires or rods or fine wires or something like that. So let me set up some machines here, and this will just expand as we need to do more things like this. Alright, I spent a little bit of time on this, and this is all of the stuff that we're going to need for now. If I use my concealment key, I can show you what I've got. It's a bunch of steel stuff, some wrought iron, some covered cables, just a bunch of machines working their butts off for forever, because I went ahead and put storage upgrades in most, if not all of these. Yeah, some of these still need upgrades. How are you doing? You're good, and this one... No, this one is doing... the LV machine casings, so I specifically put downgrade and 1 iron upgrade in here, so we don't make too many. And this right here concludes the automation of tier 1 microminers, and we're getting them fairly quickly. I've already got 51. The slowest thing I think is we're backstuffing on iron rods still. Yes, which once this drawer backstuffs, because we use twice as many of these as these, once this drawer backstuffs, we should be fine to just kind of get on with it. These are a little bit slow, but we will eventually backstuff that as well once we fill up some drawers. So it's been about a day, and I ended up just going ahead and automating the tier 2 microminers as well, and I'm shoving them into this guy right here with a limited item filter set to 1 and 4 ultra denses, which I'm making all the way over there on a ZPM line. That's using like almost 1 million RF a tick, and I'm creating these stellar creation datas because we're gonna need, I don't know, maybe 1,000 stacks of those before we finish the pack. I also went ahead and just automated the crafting of wyvern cores. This is a sound muffler. I set it to not play all of the draconic evolution sounds in this area. And also I figured out what that thing is. It's the daytime thing. If you check top right corner, I don't know if you can see that, it's pretty small, but it's skipping the night, so that's what that sound is. It plays every 10 minutes or so. And if you check on our energy ball, because we're doing fusion crafting as well as a lot more processes, I'm not going to say barely creating enough energy, because we almost have 2 million excess, 1.5 million excess still. But let's try and set up a little bit more energy production, because we're going to need to set up a lot more machines before we get the creative energy source that makes 2 billion RF per tick. And I think first things first, we're just going to make 32 large plasma turbines. This should be almost 6 million RF, which is pretty good. And then from there, we should be able to get to more neutronium solar panels, but that's going to require, once again, a lot more automation. But once we can make neutronium solar panels like reasonably easily, I'm just going to make like 10 of those. So here's our first tower of 4, and what I'm hoping is I should be able to simply copy and paste this thing 4 times. That should be everything there. I just need to change to paste mode, and I should... I just had to go ahead and raise it up, and this should do the job as long as I had everything in my inventory. And now if I just place little extra bits, everything should form. Alright, all 4 of them are built up, and in time they'll all speed up, and they'll all produce, I believe, 41,000 EU per tick, or around 165,000 RF per tick. I did make sure these are all just barely in our chunk border, and this chunk is claimed, this chunk is also claimed, but this chunk is not. So we should be good. This should, actually, let me wait for him to spin up, and then I'll check our total RF production. There we go. It looks like we're fully spun up at 69,000 RPM. That's pretty nice. Okay, so let's go back downstairs to the factory and check our RF production. And for now, it looks like we're gaining somewhere between 8 and 9 million RF. It fluctuates depending on what kind of crafting we're doing at the moment, but that's a huge buffer, and having 44 trillion and gaining RF is going to be huge. Now, I fully plan to automate Tier 3 and Tier 4 Microminers. I think in between that, up to 7, I don't really need to do anything, but Tier 3 and Tier 4 are definitely necessary. But that sounds like just a bunch of crafting and automating machines in the same way that we have here, and I don't really want to do that right now. Let's tackle a slightly more interesting auto-crafting challenge. We're going to need a million of these advanced dislocators. That's actually fairly simple. I need to do this craft, and I need to do this fusion craft. Dragon eggs are going to be an issue, but once we start sending out Tier 8 Microminers to get Chaos Shards, they won't be an issue anymore. The main issue, or I guess the next problem, is this thing. This requires a lot of stuff to go into it. So let's begin tackling it, starting with the low-hanging fruit. First things first, I'm going to choose to fluid solidify these blocks of Enderium instead of finding a way to craft them in like mechanical crafters or something. That just sounds a little bit annoying. So now, as soon as I storage bus this, we have infinite blocks of Enderium. So apparently playing with the copy paste gadget tore up part of my base. I don't think it removes tile entities like this guy, so we're fine, but a lot of blocks got removed, so I'm gonna have to repair it. Better than never. Anyways, I think I got rid of all the low-hanging fruit immediately, because I have already started to have to craft a bunch of stuff. So I'm making dislocators here. We're going to have 7,000 of them at max, because we need a lot of dislocators. Item dislocators, we need less, probably about 1,000 at a time, and this thing crafts probably fast enough, faster than we'll use them. I also snagged one for myself, because I can use these dislocation field projectors in order to stop myself from picking things up within the radius. So that's pretty nice. And it's going to become day soon, again. Anyways, we are also crafting those dislocation normalization field projectors right here, sending them into this drawer, and all that stuff is being storage bused right there. No issue at all. And that is a bauble? Okay, perfect. And that does knock off one more thing here. So we are 2 of 9, I guess 2 of like 7. So let's knock off these advanced dislocators next. Since I'm going to be automating this fusion crafting injector, just like this one, to craft in the background, it means I am literally just going to use filters to insert things. And I need to make sure they're all right. Inserting on green, no extracting, even though I just don't like how it looks, so I always change it off the extract thing, even if it's not on always active mode. So I just set the filter in here, and this needs 1 dragon egg. And then we need, I believe, 3 ender pearls. Did I change that? Nope. Let me set this up, and we should be able to get going. Alright, I connected our IMI interface up, supplied the things, and it looks like it's just going. Now, this is going to have an obstruction in the output, so we're going to have to shove it into a drawer, just like I did here. Wow, we already have 511 of those. That's pretty good. For now, I think I'm just going to back stuff 512 of these, because we're still hurting for dragon eggs a little bit, and I don't really remember what we use them for, or if we need them for anything but the wetware circuit boards and this thing, but let's keep around 500 in reserve. And also, that knocks off 3 items. We just have 3 left to go. So Crystal Matrix, Flux Thruster, Dark Solarium. Ooh, that hurts. That hurts a lot. I think I'm just going to go ahead and pretend that I never saw that, and move on. Let's automate the crystal matrix ingots as soon as I wake up tomorrow morning, because I have class, and I'm very tired, and it's 12:30. So it has come to my attention that I've recorded somewhere around half an episode, and I assume we're somewhere around the 10-minute mark, maybe 12, 13 minutes, and I've played for probably 20 hours in this episode, so, you know, if we keep doing it this way, I'm going to finish the pack in like 3 episodes. Maybe that's how we'll do it, maybe it's not, but the problem is we're building these systems that auto-craft things, and they're super boring to watch build because it's literally, I show you what I'm building, I do it because this is boring. I just have to supply things with an interface and then item conduit the results into a drawer, hook the drawer up to the enemy system, and then we're good. This is a little more fun, but it's literally just press save recipe and then export to a drawer. Basically what I'm saying is I'm not getting a lot of content per work time. However, that's perfectly fine with me. I do this for the fun of it. The one other thing I wanted to say is I did a little bit of work in between. Like, as I'm saying, I'm doing too much work in between cuts. I do a ton of work in between cuts. We have this new on-demand crafting system right here for our fusion crafting injectors. We've already seen these two, obviously. I set these up. I set this one up at the beginning of the episode, set this one up in between episodes. These two are the on-demand stuff that we do. So if we ever want like solar panels or cores or awakened cores or energy cores, or relay crystals. These are the things that I'm using all around here. I crafted a bunch as we started this, and haven't been able to craft them since because I didn't set this up, and I was running dangerously low. However, I am going to need probably 10 more of these chaotic injectors if I want to not do any manual crafting at all, and that's the goal of this base. The goal of this base is to essentially be able to get a heart of the universe at the click of a button, or an infinity ingot at the click of a button, but maybe I'll do like a bunch of creative items just fully automated, like the tank, or I mean the tank's fully automated already. Maybe some of the other like RF producing ones, just click of a button, it comes to you and you're good. However, that's gonna require I make 10 more of these chaotic injectors because there is one recipe conflict that I'm scared of in general. And if I do like 2 more on-demand crafters, I shouldn't have any issues with conflicts. Right now I have to kind of scour the recipes and make sure I'm doing things right, just so I don't mess things up and then get stuck in the middle of a craft. Everything that I have automated so far is perfectly fine. I haven't automated that much stuff, but you know, we're good. The recipe conflict is with the chaotic solars right here. You can see the chaotic core goes in the center, and if you are crafting the neutronium solar panel, the chaotic cores go on the outside. The way I'm filtering, this only allows me to, I'm filtering the inner slot, so if I put chaotic cores in here, it'll shove them only into the center, and if I need them on the outside, they won't go on the outside. And since they're 2 chaotic tier recipes, we need to do them in 2 separate chaotic tier injector things, which is fine. At some point in the near future, my goal is to have essentially fully automated Chaos Shard production. If not fully automated, like very fast Chaos Shard production. So, you know, we'll be alright. And as you can see, the crafting is starting. For the rest of this episode, I think we should just do some fun stuff. I have never, in my entire life, had draconic armor or anything like that, so let's make some. I requested the components to make the draconic armor. I already crafted the wyvern stuff. It's really easy. But while this is crafting, why don't I go ahead and explain how I've automated this? I'm actually using phantom faces. So phantom faces are a block. You can use the phantom face connector. I don't have it in my inventory. You take this, you click on a block, you click on this, and it connects the blocks. So I have this attached to the fusion crafting core up here. So it's attached to this. This emits a redstone signal. When it has a valid recipe, this detects it. It sends the redstone signal back, or the redstone conduit sends the signal back to here to start the craft, and it also sends it over to these guys to lock the conduits from sending out the next recipe, so this stuff doesn't get messed up. It's a fairly simple automation, and you can do it without the phantom face. I just want this to look very clean and nice. But if you want me to explain it in more detail, I definitely will in the next episode. Also, a huge milestone. Also, we're doing crafting, so this sucks. So much RF per tick, but that's okay because we are net positive. Fusion crafting is a very rare occurrence in this space. Anyways, we are at 57 trillion RF and rising, and we have managed to fill up 0.001% of this energy core, which is wild. If we can ever fill that thing fully, even with creative power, I will be absolutely astounded. Anyways, we now have all the stuff we need to start making our draconic armor. So this goes in the center. I'm going to do this by hand for now. I will eventually need to set up auto crafting for it, but that's for a future issue. For when I need to make the infinity armor, I plan to auto craft it, but I don't really want to do that right now. So I'm going to set 3 of these to single item mode inactive, put this, and this in here. This should be a valid recipe, and it should start. And I should just be able to do this, and it should just do itself every time. It's a fairly cheap recipe power-wise, so nothing to really worry about. Alright, the armor is completed, and I also want a draconic flux capacitor. So there's the wyvern flux capacitor, and as soon as these fusion... Did this break? Wait, what happened here? I'm not really sure what happened. I just reset the crafting. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on this, make sure it doesn't happen again. I'm gonna want holding for my flux capacitor, and there we go. There's the draconic flux capacitor. And this recipe doesn't work. I think you're supposed to use the draconic evolution process for it. So let's just put it on our other capacitor and see how much it holds. That's a decent amount of RF. I'll take it. Okay, so here are the items you need to upgrade the RF capacity in your items. I'm going to do it for all 5 of our things. So I have 5 of each in these things, and everything's set on single item mode inactive, just like usual. I only have 1 of these because I don't think this thing is used up. So if I put this in here, it should be a valid recipe, and it should go. And here are the items you need for tier 2, and it should go. Perfect. Here are all the items for tier 5. You know, I wish I could say this looks cool, but I look really stupid. It might just be my skin, however. Anyways, we can fly with this stuff on pretty quick, but we don't have any movement speed upgrades. We hold a ton of energy, 256 million in each, plus 640 million in this, and 480 million in this. But, you know, I want to go fast. And in order to do that, we're going to need to upgrade our legs with movement speed. It's the same process, same items. I'm just going to do it, and I'll be right back. It is done. The upgrade is complete. I have entered my final form. Oh man, this thing's so fast. And look at the speed of flight. Holy crap, that up and down is insane. I have it set to maximum right now, but this is just so fast. I'm definitely going to have to mess with this. Maybe put it around 300%? Let's try that. That's a little bit more reasonable, and it's slower here. I kind of like that. It also has inertia cancellation, so if you're going fast and then you stop immediately. Alright, I've messed around with the configs a little bit, and I think I found something that I'm pretty happy with. It also feeds me. That's what that sound was. It's set so I run just slightly faster than normal, just walking, but if I choose to sprint, I go so fast. Same thing with flight, because I want to be fairly precise when I'm flying. A lot of the time I'm like working and I'll like do something. I don't want to like fly all the way across the base just because I'm flying. I really am quite fast. My computer would be very displeased if I were to go, say, load new terrain. But I think that might go ahead and end it for this video, or at least that's where I'm going to end it. Next time we'll get back and we'll fully automate tier 3 and tier 4 microminers along with some other junk. But I wanted to have a little bit of fun. Also, I've opted to not show my armor at all times because I think it looks stupid, even though it's really, really good armor. Probably the best you can get. I'm just kind of flying around. I'm looking at our base. This place, it wasn't the coolest. And now there's this one, but like you can see these from all the way over here. I don't know. I feel like the factory is just going to look incredibly impressive once we're done with it. Once everything is put together, it's going to be so cool. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, maybe a like or something. If you didn't, maybe leave a dislike. I don't know. I put a lot of time into this one, even though it may not seem like it. I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.